the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
All right, it was a former Michelle. Emma Kwababi and Family Casafoniso. Nsem-Pii TV. Be the first to know. It was a form and pennyful can be at was a sound of our way. Ye cheat na dintia ye cofasa in some way. As I dear baby Ubinya into was now Otia Ubinya and Tiasi. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic, in your media engagement na home. And our questions be by His Excellency Eya what you say. If we be hate speech, Mukasa editia abino. Na se baby na kasa editia abina. With the help of National Signal Bureau, me attract or bro so IP address and answer IP number they are located to be our own file. Na nina any say National Signal Bureau anya technologies are hot bit me a more decide my way. So I say we better ya pet and a lawyer Paul Adom Okyere say me kai say the Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayeni Akorotene wakan sembi ewo ne first press conference ye abrana yache Kwabena Aduboahen na ye de ne call Yoko no obeka sembi ewo abonten say according to Kwabena Aduboahen or say $49 million be a area no omo de to mfidie gadgets e de buy said the beba ebeboa ama omudwumadie no etimi awie peye na a facilitate ama bibia atoso nanso Attorney General be deny say there has been no such procurement bia ewo ho eno kraka ho bi e ma ye de papa yi e call remand nanso on 10 September abra His Excellency John Dramani Mahama kasa no wo kire mu say National Signal Bureau enya sa technologies no eno na nam so ma I.C.S holding omoye international security consultant omo Israel e di letter bi ba ya sa letter no e justify and as vindicate Kwabena Aduboahen say indeed ensem o kan say sasika no mde koto equipment no ampa letterhead no e wo wabra Paul Adom Okyere e di a full explanation eba meso so be kan ho ne akoti uwie a wadwenkyere de ho hia pa.
So the president's press conference, because President Mahama had good news at the press conference in relation to this matter, and he made a big announcement. The big announcement also gave us some facts, those of us who have been following the Aduboahen trial. Where do we start from? Let's see the video of what President John Dramani Mahama said about an equipment that is available at the National Security through the National Signals Bureau. Have a look at it.
If you go to some of the WhatsApp platforms or you go to some of the commentaries in the TikToks and others, we have what we call hate speech, incitement to violence. Those are criminal. Despite the fact that we have removed the criminal libel laws, there are some laws that make such people accountable. Because if we don't regulate that sector, it can lead this nation to war. There are some of the incendiary statements that have been made in the Boko situation that are fueling some of what is happening there, making people hate each other and see each other as enemies. It's been the same in the Gonja Brefo thing. Some people fanning and inciting violence against each other. This falls in the ambit of the National Signals Bureau. And so the National Signals Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media because it's unregulated. And so anybody just takes a phone and says, oh, this plane crash, I wish that so and so had been the one in the helicopter and had died, and dwarfs have eaten him in the forest. I mean, why would you say something like that?
Everyone supports the president's call, but I hope he knows that Nsem-Pii sits in America and this is his stock in trade. This is what Nsem-Pii does in America. He doesn't do any story. He doesn't do any news. He doesn't do any research. He picks people, insults them, incites violence, tribe against tribe, calls a tribe that they are stupid. That's what he's been doing over the last 4 years or 3 years or whenever since broadcast has been going on. So the president's call is a very good one and everyone supports it because you can't have, those of us who are doing regular news reporting, we have nothing to fear. I'm never going to put or something on social media, hide behind somebody and say that there is violence in Labadi. I can't see myself do that. It's not possible. It's never going to happen. That's not my training. And all those who were trained like me, nobody will do that. So we are never worried about fake news, as it were. And I'm happy that the president of Ghana is happy to deal with fake news. But he mentioned something. He said National Signals Bureau now have an equipment. That equipment appears to fall in the middle of these two gentlemen. First, Adom Okyere, in defense of himself, in relating to the prosecution of a certain 49 million, said in a letter written that money had been used to acquire equipment from an Israeli company. Blah, blah, blah. To do these things President Mahama is talking about. Dominic Ayine, the Attorney General, said that no equipment was procured. Nothing was done. And that is not there. I will show you a document in a minute about when and how the Attorney General said that. But the president, addressing the press yesterday, seemed to say that National Signals Bureau have an equipment. We know that since January up till now, National Signals Bureau have not acquired any equipment as far as the public procurement process will record. They haven't acquired any equipment. So that equipment the president is talking about must be, most likely, the same set equipment that Adom Okyere referred to. So this is an equipment that has been inherited by the new bosses of the National Signals Bureau. And per this equipment, as was set up by Adom Okyere, we are now able to track people using their IP address. So bad people who hide behind. So you go on Facebook and somebody, you see their names on Facebook. Those people, you can tell. You see their name. It says that Kenun Frown. That's his name on Facebook. Or you go to some Facebook account and he says that Malata Crab. That's his name. His name is Malata Crab. Or if you check more, you see something like Konongo Show Boy. You have those kind of names on social media. Apparently, it turns out that a lot of these were used for the election. And I have to say that during the election, a lot of these addresses were used to foment trouble, to generate support for a candidate, to generate hatred against a candidate. All of these things happen in election 2024. I'm delighted that one of the important actors in election 2024, the eventual winner, John Dramani Mahama, president of Ghana, now sets out to deal with this matter, and we are very delighted that it's happening. But it must happen across board. These things have happened. People sit in America, put up a video, and they insult Ochehini, they insult Asante Hini, they insult Duncan Williams, they tell some tribe that they are stupid, and they do a lot of these tribal politics in pursuit of a political agenda. We hope this will now be the end. We will be monitoring to see what the government says. The government communication says when they see these things recurring, and some people told me that it will always recur because there's no other content that these people have. They don't have any other content. The only content they have is to insult people and to incite hatred. That's the quickest way to get views on social media when you are in an election frenzy. So this is very good. But the truth of the matter is that what President Mahama said appears to be the equipment that Adom Okyere procured. Let's look at the letter from the Dominic Ayine part of it. Let's look at the Dominic Ayine part of it. So it's here. Dominic Ayine said to the media that further investigations have revealed that no cybersecurity system of the description in the January 30, 2020 contract was ever received by the Bureau of National Communications or by its successor agency, the National Signals Bureau, or by the government of Ghana. An inventory confirmation from the National Security Secretariat shows that the equipment was never received into stores, as is the practice in the public service. So Dominic Ayine is talking about this equipment that was not received. Adom Okyere said that an equipment had been procured, which allows the system to monitor things, use IP address to find people who want to foment trouble. The Honorable Attorney General says nothing had been procured. Let's get to the letter that you were showing me now. Yes, okay. Do we have it removed? Okay, so there's a letter from I.C.S. Holding International. They are international security consulting, And they write to Samuel Atachian, who is lawyer for K.A.Boahen. And they say, response to your mail dated so and so, delivery of cyber security equipment to Ghana's national security, and a defamatory statement of and concerning blah, blah, blah. Okay, they have the letter here. Let's look at it. Greetings from the International Security Consultant, I.C.S, an international security consulting firm incorporated under the law of Israel with headquarters in Israel. First, we take this opportunity to emphasize that our response refers to Mr. K.A.Boahen during his duty as the Director General of the National Signals Bureau. Our company operates globally in the field of security consultancy. The management... okay, let's turn it over for me. Ooh, that's my screen frozen. Okay, let me just get, okay, yeah. The management of which does something high-level security projects and the training specialization. Okay, our consultants are seasoned, blah, blah, blah. We are known for delivering confidential, cutting-edge security, blah, 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 including third-party. Okay, now this is the important part. We hereby declare, and for the avoidance of doubt, all cyber defense systems procured by the NSB, supplied under a confidential agreement signed on January 30, 2020, with an associated continuing service covenant, were fully delivered to Ghana's national security. So, it suggests that this equipment is most likely what President Mahama is praising and relying on for the purpose of finding cyber criminals who pollute our news with fake news that can divide our people. It's almost certain that this is the equipment that President Mahama was referring to. Now, this is the equipment that has generated controversy in the trial, where the Attorney General says no equipment was delivered. The people who were set to supply the equipment said the equipment had been delivered. We still don't know whether it was delivered or wasn't delivered. But from what the President said last night at his press conference, it appears that yes, the equipment was delivered. Let's listen to the President again, and viewers, listen and see whether it is this that he may be referring to. Let's have a look at it.
If you go to some of the WhatsApp platforms, or you go to some of the commentaries in the TikToks and others, we have what we call hate speech, incitement to violence. Those are criminal. Despite the fact that we have removed the criminal libel laws, there are some laws that make such people accountable. Because if we don't regulate that sector, it can lead this nation to war. There are some of the incendiary statements that have been made in the Boko situation that are fueling some of what is happening there, making people hate each other and see each other as enemies. It's been the same in the Gonja Brefo thing. Some people fanning and inciting violence against each other. This falls in the ambit of the National Signals Bureau. And so the National Signals Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media because it's unregulated. And so anybody just takes a phone and says, oh, this plane crash, I wish that so and so had been the one in the helicopter and had died, and dwarfs have eaten him in the forest. I mean, why would you say something like that? And so we need regulation for that new emerging media. But in the meantime, the National Signals Bureau has been given the full authority to track down people who do that kind of thing and bring them to...
Yes, we love President Mahama for that. Carried across all board. So the big question is it the equipment that the Attorney General said never arrived that President Mahama is referring to? Or is it another equipment that has been procured recently? Unlikely, because there's not been any procurement by any government agency since the government started. Not many, but certainly not National Signals Bureau. So it will appear, as they say, vindication is in the womb of time, that K.A.Boahen may be right. That he said that we use the money to buy the equipment. The equipment is there. The National Signals Bureau are using it. President Mahama said they now have an equipment to do XYZ. Is that not so? Okay, we'll keep an eye on this one. There's another matter relating to this. Justice Nsem-Pii, the Deputy Attorney General, says that counsel for the accused persons, the Honorable Atachia, throws matters in case to the media and puts pressure on the case. Justice Nsem-Pii is concerned, and legitimately so, that Justice Nsem-Pii is the Deputy Attorney General. He is concerned, and legitimately so, that the learned Atachia here is throwing the cases into the media, like I'm doing now. I'm talking about the case. The other day, Captain Smart was talking about the case. The other day, Black Rasta was talking about the case against the K.A.Boahen from Iyoko. Black Rasta has a dossier of something Iyoko has told him, and he's consistently churning out narratives against K.A.Boahen and against his innocence. So that's in the media. Now, that media of Black Rasta is not coming from Atachia. In any case, Justice Nsem-Pii, it was your boss, Dominic Ayine, who first held a press conference and put the matter in the public domain. I don't think Atachia has held a press conference to say anything about this matter. Atta has not. Atta has only granted interviews when he leaves court. But because the case has been made a high-profile case by Nsem-Pii and his boss, the Attorney General, they hold press conference. Well, it's been a while since Attorney General did one, but he was holding press conferences. Many members of the Bar Association who are unaligned. I think the bar must form a non-aligned bar because, you see, this is just a passing comment. There's NDC Lawyers Association. I'm guessing they formed that because they were reacting to NPP Lawyers Association. There has to be the non-aligned movement of the Ghana Bar Association. Are you there? Barristers who are non-aligned. Can you form the non-aligned Ghana Bar Association? So, naturally, lawyers from both NDC and NPP were concerned that the Attorney General is putting up these matters in the public domain, and there's not the best way to handle criminal prosecutions. So that raised the stakes. When you raise the stakes like that, journalists are very likely to go to Atachia and says that, but the Attorney General says your client has stolen money. And Atta will say, no, he hasn't. Come to my office and I'll show you the document. And they are entitled to that. It's a democracy. And the media expression is an integral part of the democratic expression. So Justice Nsem-Pii, the Deputy Attorney General, please calm down. Atachia has not done anything wrong. Media will forever go and look for the information from Atachia. They will. Because Dominic Ayine tells us a side of the story. So we always need to get the other side of the story. All the time pattern, isn't it? Hear the other side. So we always need the other side of the story. Because Dominic Ayine has told us his side of the story. He's a prosecutor. He's told us his side of the story. If you are a journalist, you don't just want to run with that. You want to hear Atachia's side of the story, and then you can decide which one you are publishing at the risk of being contemptuous of the court. That's what happens to all media houses. That's what happens. So I saw the comments and I thought I should just calm down Justice Nsem-Pii. He should calm down. He should calm down. There's a long road ahead. We're going to walk that road. We are not anywhere yet. We're just 8 months into the agenda, into the reset agenda. So he should calm down.